How much do you love your family?
There are no words and no measurement for love to the family, but too much.
Okay. What's your name?
Ajmal.
Where are you from?
Pakistan,
What city?
Jehlam.
Could you describe your first home? What was your first home like? Do you remember how many rooms, what it was like, how many people? How was the experience with your first room, your first home?
First home in Pakistan with my family. Parents, 6 brothers and sisters. Very nice, lovely life, happy life. Animals, fields, and enjoying life, fresh life.
How important is family to you?
It's most important for me, like a part of our body. We look after our arms, hands, eyes, everything. Like this is family is most important for me, like my part of our body.
If you could say something to your father now, one thing, what would you tell him?
Yeah, it's very difficult this time because he's not more here, and but I can feel him now, and he is in my soul, even he's in my body. I can feel him because I was so close with him from my childhood till now, and mostly my time of my life I spent with him. So he was for me like a good friend. He always encouraged me for struggling for life, getting better life. He always advising me, encouraging me.
What was his name?
His name was Muhammad Akram.
Do you remember the work life of your parents when you were younger? What did they do? Did your parents work when you were a child? Do you remember what kind of jobs your mother and father had when you were a child?
Yeah, mother was at home, is not going outside, but working in the fields near the home. Father always worked in the fields, and we have some animals also, and look after the animals and fields, crops.
What kind of animals?
Animals, we have buffalo, cows, goats, and hens, these type of animals. And I love with animals because I was always using to play with the animals. And when my father go outside to look after the animals, I always with him after school.
So your father worked on a farm. He worked on the land. What?
Yeah, you can see there is a land. We take on rent, and they are cultivating different crops like rice. Rice is very famous there, wheat and rice. And
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. Do you remember your favorite moment with your family? Is there one moment that really stands out that you remember with your family?
Yeah, always my moments were very rememberable with my family. But last time when I met with my father, we celebrate his birthday last time, about 2 years before, and that I realized that I'm still, with them, and that is a memorable event for me.
Do you remember your mother's favorite dish? Her favorite plate of food that she would make for you?
She always makes delicious dishes for us, and she make meat and vegetables, together. Sometimes meat with rice. We called it biryani.
Mm-hmm.
That's very delicious. I like it so much, and I miss.
Is it spicy?
Yeah, spicy. Of course, it's spicy. So spicy.
And what about education? How far did you study? Did you make it to university, high school? Talk to me a little bit about
when
your
I
school
was
experience.
going to the college after complete my matriculation, and at that time I started also a part-time job in a newspaper. First, I was only the advertising department. After I grow and I start reporting for newspaper.
Was that your first job? Was working for a newspaper your first job?
Yeah, it's for advertising and for delivering the newspapers in different offices, different shops. This was my first job.
Okay, and do you consider yourself a good salesman?
Yeah, because when I was a first year in college, I start job as delivering the newspapers. So I have so much experience in the sales, as a salesman.
Have you ever been fired from a job before?
I have fired 2 times.
Why?
First time because at that time I was not legal here in Spain. I don't have a papers here, and he was giving me 700 for 12 hours in a day, and 12 or 13 hours, no holidays, nothing. And he promised with me that he will give me contract for papers. When I talked with him for about contract, because when we apply for papers for immigration, we need one contract, and he demand money from me, minimum 7,000 to 8,000 euro, and I said that I'm working with you for 700 euro. How I can give you 8,000 euro? And you promised with me that you will give me a contract for job. And
so losing your job had nothing to do with your ability or performance?
no, never.
Okay. When we talk about exploitation at work, being someone that has worked in another country, like Pakistan, and here, what is your concept of exploitation at work? When do you think someone is taking advantage of you at work? Is it because they don't pay you enough? You have to work too many hours? What's your concept of an unreasonable job?
Yes, there are many reasons, not one. Number one, they think mostly people from Pakistan and India, here even in Europe, they think that they are not hiring a salesman or a worker. they always think that they are buying a slave. So they think about the person who is working for them. He will work for them 24 hours like this. So in last job again I was working 12 hours without holidays, without rest, any rest. And when I demand for a holiday because I had some appointment, some sita, and he fired me. He kicked me out from the job.
That's hard. What was the first paycheck you got when you first got paid in Spain? How much were you making per hour?
Is 700 euro for 13 hour in a day.
Okay, so
And
it's
there was no holiday.
13 hours times 7
700.
is 91 hours a week, times 4 is 364 hours a month. And you made
Yeah.
700 euros?
700 euro, yeah.
So you divide that by 52 cents per hour.
Yeah, 52 cents. Yeah, very less.
That-
Yeah, as we were working like a slave.
And how do you manage your money? Because you have less resources. How do you manage your money?
Now,
Yeah.
sometime I go outside selling some toys near Plaza España. Like maybe there is a one light and we throw, and in our language we call helicopter, but in Spanish called tirachina.
Okay.
We throw, children saw that one and come and they buy from us.
And when you have these jobs that don't necessarily pay you a decent salary, what motivates you? Why do you accept 52 cents an hour? Is it because of yourself, your family? What motivates you to take these jobs?
There are so many reasons. Number one, that the working outside in the street is not illegal. If I got a proper job in that way, I can pay my taxes. I can pay my taxes, and through that I can bring my family here. And this working like outside in a street, when police come, they take from me everything, and sometimes they put multa, and many times they take hand fans from me. Like I bring from the shop and just I make my stall with tirochina and hand fans, and police came without uniform and they said, "Senor, vamos, give me this one."
They take
And they
your merchandise. When you know what a mentor is? Someone who helps you, like a grandfather, if you will, that gives you advice and helps you grow. If you could have one mentor, someone that helps you with your growth personally and professionally, who would it be and why?
Mentor for me was my father, because he always advised me from his experiences. He told me that in your age I was like this, so you must be like this, you must be go in this direction, always advising me positive things.
And going to another country is challenging, especially when that country doesn't speak your language exactly. So you have to learn a new language to communicate, but there are also many legal barriers. What has been the most challenging legal barrier that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, it's very difficult to go other country, because if I suggest and I advise the person, don't leave your wife, your children there, because if you are illegal, you cannot pay attention to them, and you cannot pay attention here to learn something, because your 95% attention is back. My child is in hospital, my wife has a kidney problem, father is in hospital, always thinking back. So it's better if you are bachelor, come to other country like Europe or anywhere and make your future, and then when you are stable, you go back and get married.
I do know that you studied journalism, right? So you consider yourself a journalist. So speaking is something that you're used to. How does speaking in public and in social media make you feel? How do you feel when you speak with a large audience or in social media like Facebook?
When I speak in the public or with the people or in social media, I speak comfortable because this was part of my training, and I always try to speak positive, and I chase always to get truthful news for from different resources for my newspapers. I worked there in many different newspapers. Even sometime our team were in danger, but we always stand with the rightness and truth.
Regarding work, what's the difference between working in your current country, Spain, and your home country, Pakistan? What's the main difference for you?
Like, for example, working in a newspaper, because this was my field, is very, very different. Because there we were working manually, have a one copy and one pen, and with one pencil and one with copy, and here is more different ways. All is like nowadays everything is in digital.
So technology is probably the biggest
different
difference.
in technology is difference, yeah. And the other thing is here is one thing, that is you are more safe. In any field you are safe, but in our country is not safe. If you are speaking truth or you are investigating something, it means you are under attack.
So technology and security would be the main differences.
Yeah.
And let's speak a little bit about hope. What gives you hope about the future? That the future will be better?
Still I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeless. And I stand for a good future for me, for my family. And next I'm thinking to get any good job maybe. And through that job I want to bring my son here for good studies, so that he can get higher studies, good studies.
Okay. Ajmal, are you happy?
Yeah, in some way I'm happy, and some way still unhappy.
What would make you happier?
Happier because still I'm unstable. 6 months before I had my own car mean rickshaw bike, and I was working as a tourist, and police take my rickshaw bike. Still they did not give me back, and I lost money. I lost my own work. My own work, own business, own job is very joyful, that's why I'm not unhappy.
Could you explain the first 24 hours being homeless? The first homeless experience that you had?
For first experience for homeless was about 9 years before when I came here, and nobody knows me. And from Italy, I reached here through train to Spain, and nobody knows me in Barcelona. And first night I spent in the center of Barcelona. And there were some benches. I was walking here, there. At last, I don't know when I was sitting, and I sleep maybe 2 hours or 1 hour like this.
2 hours is a long time sometimes. Sometimes you don't sleep at all in the street, right? How has your homeless experience made you a better professional?
Yeah, even when I was homeless, I discourage begging and stealing, even other people's. Always talk with them positive to learn something and to do something to survive their lives, our lives.
How did you find Homeless Entrepreneur, and what kind of support are you receiving?
Homeless Entrepreneur, I connect through a Facebook. I saw one advertisement on Facebook about homeless entrepreneur, and then I contact with the owner of the boss of the entrepreneur, Andrew. Is a very, very nice person, and he's my friend now, like brother. And after I met with him and I told him about myself, he always advised me in right ways. And whenever I have a health issue or something, he helps me through Homeless Entrepreneur. And now I am going to learn skills build. I register in skills build today, and now I'm going to learn skills.
That's great. I remember you sending a message through Facebook, and can we meet? And I was like, aren't you on an island somewhere? And you're like, I'm in Barcelona. And that simple message, I think, was the starting point for entering the help program.
Yeah. Actually, at that time, when before I was in Gran Canaria, in working different types there, like before in a shop, after tourist guide. There was a one time I have my own shop. I take some credits from the bank, from the friends, but after COVID, change everything.
You're a true homeless entrepreneur. Can you name one positive change that you've had through the help program? One positive change that you've experienced since we've communicated and started working together with you?
Yes, there are so many things. One thing, to work like a team, to work always in a positive way, to raise our hand for the people so that they can hold our hands and we can bring them in the circle of life. So there are many things that I learned from entrepreneur, homelessness, and still I'm learning many things from them.
Can you smile?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Well, you went. I asked because you went to the dentist, right? You went to a AOA yesterday, and you had your teeth cleaned for the first time in how many years?
Actually, I was cleaning as a normal routine every day 2 times, but first time I was in a clinic.
The first time in your life?
In my life, yeah, and was a very, very good experience, and now my teeth are so bright and so white.
Okay, that's good. Now,
thank you.
You're welcome. Regarding work, just short, what's the next job you would like to have? And how do you imagine your day? at your next job?
For my next job in hospitality sector or elderly care or as a news reporter in any newspaper, news channel, anywhere, and I expecting good salary and minimum 1 or 2 days off
Okay.
in my life.
Well, that's good. So basically, what would be a minimum salary for you? 1,500 a month?
Yes, minimum 1,500, 1,800, so that I can pay my utilities and bills here, and I can save some money for my travel. I can send money to my family, for my son who is still waiting for next admission in second year for second semester, and I'm trying to manage money for him, but still I can't because I don't have work.
We wish you the best with that. Now the last 2 questions.
Thank you.
The first time you came to see José Sanabria and do a professional photography shoot, was it the first time you had a professional photo shoot?
Yeah, that was the first time.
And how did you feel?
Yeah, it's so nice, lovely experience.
Did you feel like a model?
Yes, yeah. First
Okay.
time.
Now this is the last question, okay, which I think is really important. How do you plan to give back to the community to help others experiencing homelessness in the future once you've improved your situation? How do you plan on helping others
Yeah,
when you've changed your situation?
yeah. When I got a good job, when I changed my own situation, I always wish to help the others. Before, even when I was in Gran Canaria, I helped out many times the people who were in the street. And next again, if I can help them, if they want to learn something that I know, I will be happy. And I'm always here, work with homelessness as a volunteer. I always be available. Thank you very much.
And the last thing, look into the camera and say thank you and hello to your father.
Thank you very much. Hello to father.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Estamos en el límite, a los 30 minutos se apagan las cámaras de grabar para no calentarse. Las fotos. A los 30 y hay 29, ¿no?
How was the interview?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, excellent.